This little OnBar 4K dashcam has a few very interesting features. First, it's very small. It's so tiny, its length is about the size of my finger. And it's less than 1.5 finger in width. Let me show you. Due to its smaller size, you can easily hide it behind the rear view mirror, or in my case, behind the sun visor. But don't let the small size fool you. There is a powerhouse under the hood. Plus, it's one of the easiest dashcams you can install yourself. Only 2 wires. That's it. One wire connects to the rear view camera, and the second to your cigarette lighter for power. Everything else is already built in. GPS, front camera, memory card, everything. There is no separate modules. It even received a design award from Red Dot. But now, let's take a look at the actual footage from this dashcam so that we can test the quality of both cameras. Here's the actual footage of the front camera.
Successful. Recording started. Successful. Recording started.
And the rear camera. And I have to say, the quality, sharpness, saturation, and all the details are very impressive.
Recording started.
As you know, every car has a lot of vibrations, but this camera is very steady because it has an excellent anti-shaking mechanism. As a result, the video is very crisp. I can see everything around me, clearly reading the names of the stores and the streets, with almost no glare from the sunshine. And as you can see, not only can I read the license plates of the car in front of me, but also the plates of cars on the sides. So the visibility is excellent, and the overall picture is very good. If I freeze frame and zoom in, I can clearly read the name of the street and all the signs, thanks to the large 4K high video resolution. I can zoom in on a stop frame without losing the picture's quality, which is important. In my next test, I'll drive against the sun, and as you can see, the camera handles the sun perfectly. The sun is totally neutralized and looks like a bright white ball, but it doesn't create overexposure, and I can still see everything clearly. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very impressed.
Recording started.
And the rear camera doesn't let you down either. It gives you a nice picture of the surroundings, and you can still read and see everything in detail. It's very steady, giving you a wide-angle view, covering a lot of space. And you can easily read the license plate from the cars behind you and cars on the sides. But now let's test these cameras on how they perform in the dark of the night.
Recording started.
Most dashcams struggle at night, but I have to say this one is absolutely outstanding. Even though my windshield is a little foggy, my footage recording is high quality and I can see everything sharply. Even driving at night, I can read the license plate numbers of the cars in front and on the sides without any problems. So now I'm in this McDonald's drive-thru and I can read the car's license plates in front of me, as well as the plates of the vehicle behind me, without any effort.
Can I get a Big Mac with fries?
So both cameras perform well at night. Let's start with the placement of the rear camera. The OnBar dashcam comes with this small electrostatic sticker to place between the camera and the window, which will simplify the detachment of the camera from the rear window whenever you decide to remove it. Make sure to position the camera inside the dotted line. Clean the rear window and place the sticker against the glass. Next, remove air bubbles between the sticker and the window. Here is the rear view camera. It's about half of my finger in length. You can glue it to the window using this included double tape. Remove the protective film, position it, and apply firm pressure against the glass. The rear camera has a rotatable base, so you can easily tilt the angle to point it in the right direction. Don't forget to remove the plastic from the camera and the lens. I'll point it to the slightly lower rear, but you can always readjust it later. The rear camera has one input on the side to plug the long cable supplied with the unit. Both inputs are the same to avoid any mistakes. Now we need to run this cable all the way to the front of the car. You can use the included cable clips to hold the wire securely. Attaching it to the glass or anything else. If you have an SUV, I recommend running the cable inside this rubber sleeve so that it would come out inside the headliner. And then run the cable inside the headliner all the way to the front so people don't see any hanging wires. You can use a long plastic zip tie to pull the wire through above the headliner until you reach the front of the car. Once the cable from the rear camera is brought to the front, it is time to install the dashcam. The front electrostatic sticker is slightly wider than the rear one because you need to leave some space to connect wires. Remove the protective film, find a good spot, and place it against the windshield. Take your time, ensuring there are no air bubbles left. Remove if you see any. Here is the main unit with the built-in front camera. The GPS unit is already built in, so you don't have to buy and install it separately, which is great. Besides video, this big microphone on the side also records sound. The memory SD card is included and already inserted, so you don't have to buy it separately, unlike in most other dashcams where you have to pay for it. There are only two inputs. The USB is for power and the female jack is for the rear camera. The base already has this double tape that holds the dashcam against the windshield. Remove the protective film from the adhesive tape and the lens. Next, connect the cable from the rear camera. And finally, get the USB power cable, which will insert into a cigarette lighter adapter. Optionally, you can get the hard wiring kit to take advantage of the parking mode security while the car is parked. So let's connect the power wire to finish the job. The installation process is straightforward and very easy. Hold the dashcam straight and attach it inside the dotted lines by applying a little pressure. Make sure it doesn't interfere with your headliner and everything looks good. The included prying tool can hide the wires so the installation is clean. I recommend placing the dashcam behind the rear view mirror, but since I don't have a space, I put it behind the sun visor. You need to find the best place based on your interior layout. Interestingly, the base is removable, and if you look from the front, you will notice close to the left and open to the right. So if you want to take this dashcam with you for any reason, you can slide it out to remove it. But the base always stays on the windshield. And then put it back. Very cool. Before using this onboard dashcam, you must set it up via your smartphone app. Get your cell phone and go to your app store. Search for the app called KCam. Download, install, and open it. Confirm the GPS geolocation, select precise while using the app, and allow access to your phone. But before we can add a device, let's turn the onboard dashcam on by inserting a cigarette lighter adapter. The dashcam starts recording immediately.
Wi-Fi is on. 5G Wi-Fi.
As a flashing red LED light indicates. Touch and hold the Wi-Fi button to display all available networks. Select DC42 dashcam and enter the password 12345678, which you can change later. Make sure to touch Always Connect, so it will connect automatically whenever you use it. Now let's get back to our KCam app. And now you can see the DC42 dashcam was already found. Touch it.
Wi-Fi is connected.
And OK the VPN. Here you can see the picture-in-picture live view of both cameras. Touch the switch camera button to switch to the front camera view only, so that we can adjust the front camera's position. The camera's base can be tilted so that you can find the perfect position. I like to position the front camera so you can still see a small part of the hood, giving you a sense of orientation and covering as much of the surroundings as possible. Next, switch to the rear camera for adjustments. But I like how it looks, so I don't have to change it for now. And you can also view the picture-in-picture of the front or rear camera. Before you go to settings, you must hit the record button to stop the recording.
Recording stopped.
And then hit the little gear icon on the top right of the screen and allow the notifications. This dashcam has many settings, but I'll show you just a few. First, I recommend setting the photo size to the highest, 12 megapixels, unless you have a storage problem on your computer. Also, go with the highest 4K resolution for the camera. I'd like to change the recording bits from 1 minute to a longer 3 minutes. But if your smartphone or computer has a limited space, maybe keep it at 1 minute. Also, make sure the WDR is selected, so you have a much clearer vision, especially when recording at night. I'll change the date format to the United States standards, month, date and year. In the speed units, I'll leave the miles per hour instead of kilometers. It's important to change the time zone to have the correct time, because all this information is embedded into your dashcam footage, providing accurate evidence whenever something happens. And since I'm in Los Angeles, I will select the UTC -7 hours to set the Pacific time. Next, you can display GPS positioning, and here you can enter your car's license plates, which will be a part of the watermark on all your dashcam footage. Add as much information as you can. But before you start using your dashcam, make sure to format your memory SD card. especially before using it for the first time, so that you won't have any problems with memory in the future, and it will properly get bonded with the dashcam software.
Formatting TF card. Please do not disconnect the power. Format successful. Recording started.
You can take photos right from your app. And when you go to your photo files, you will notice that it takes pictures from both the front and rear cameras simultaneously. And when you click on your video files, you can click the select button and then select any videos you'd like to download to your smartphone. After making your selection, click the download button and they will be downloaded to your cell phone, which you can transfer to your computer if you want to. When something important happens and you want to preserve your footage from being erased, press the side button once.
Emergency video.
And your recordings become locked until you save it to your smartphone.
Wi-Fi is connected.
I'll stop my emergency recordings.
Recording stopped.
And now if you go into your Files menu, they will be saved under the Urgent tab. You can see those little locks over the videos, which means they're protected. And you can safely download them to your smartphone whenever you have time. This OnBar car dashcam has a comprehensive manual, so that you can read about every feature in detail. Overall, this OnBar 4K dashcam system is very impressive. And you know me, I do not review products that I don't like. It has to qualify to my set of standards before I even touch it. I do my own research based on real-life testing that I demonstrated in this video. Therefore, I do recommend this OnBar 4K dual dashcam for your car, based on the combination of decent quality and low price. It is currently on sale. Plus, you can use my discount promo code to save some extra money. The links are below in the video description, and if you purchase one via my link, I may get a tiny commission to support this channel. And the question of today is, have you ever had a car accident where you couldn't prove your innocence? Please let us know in the comment section below.